Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Shelly, and here we talk about Shelly's thoughts over 60. Yep. So please subscribe so you don't miss my goings on. Okay. Today my thought was things that we stop doing in a relationship over 60. What do I mean by that, right? What I mean is when we're younger, we do things in new relationships or marriages and the like, or even friendships, right? We tend to put our needs aside. We tend to compromise and we tend to just put up a lot of crap. Sometimes we don't have to, right? And I think as we get older, 60s, 70s, and beyond, we start realizing that, yeah, no, life's too short to kind of put up with the bullshit, right? So some things that I feel like over 60 that that we stop doing is putting what we want aside, right? Choking down what we want to say or what we need to be happy, right? Whether it's I want new drapes or I want new shoes or whatever the issue, whatever that issue is, to kind of make yourself comfortable. I think we've gotten to a point in our lives, and this goes for men too. This isn't exclusive for women, right? I mean, sometimes guys put everything aside. They're supporting a family and they're supporting their wife, and now at this season in their lives, they're like, yeah, let's not go fishing, or I want that fishing boat, or whatever the case is. Um, and I do think that that holds true for women too, right? And you just can't constantly like choke down those feelings, right? We can't worry about what people think about us. I really have stopped doing that. And that took a lot of work, right? To not worry about what this person thinks or that friend thinks or this one thinks. I've gotten to a point in my life where I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to worry about what everybody else is thinking, what everybody else needs, what everybody else wants. And I'm not talking about being a jerk. Somebody comes over my house, would you like a cup of coffee? You're making lunch for someone or you're going out with someone and you're respectful. I mean, I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about the hardcore putting your needs aside, right? Whatever that is, whatever it's physical needs, whether it's you need sleep, you need rest, you want alone time, you need more physical touch, and whatever you want, less physical touch, whatever. I think it's really important at this stage in our lives to have a real handle on what we are willing to give up in relationships anymore, right? For me, I just feel like the biggest thing for me is saying what I want. Right? I don't want to go to the movies, or I don't want to go to that park, or I don't want gray carpet, I want blue, or just constantly compromising on what I like or what I feel or what I want. My whole life's been about that. Whether it was for my kids, my husband, my friends, my parents, there's always been somebody that I compromise what I want. I don't even get sleep when I want, and excuse me, I'm sure you ladies out there can relate to this, right? We forego sleep, we forego meals, we don't eat when we're home. So, I at this stage of my life, I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be the one who is, you know, uh, just giving up what I want to need. I mean, that's kind of very, I know it sounds very simplistic, right? Oh, speak up. It's not so easy for some people, speaking of what they want, especially against a spouse, right? I mean, this a true story. My husband is all about, he's very creative and that type of thing. And if I wanted something, gray and he wanted it blue, we got the blue. So, um, excuse me, I'm not sure what's going on there. But I do think that we get to a point where we just don't even feel heard sometimes, and or we just stop speaking up because we figure what's the point, right? Well, at this stage in our lives, I think it's really important to speak out about what you want, what makes you happy, I want to go out to lunch. I want to go get that ice cream cone. I don't want to go, or I want to watch Netflix, or whatever the case is, and not feel bad about it. Right? I mean, honestly, I struggle with just telling my kids when they want me to come over or go somewhere, just saying, no, I don't feel like going. I just don't feel like it. Like, there doesn't have to be a reason. Why can't the reason just be I don't feel like it, right? So I think in relationships, that's been a big thing for me, right? Just saying, this is what I want. This is how I feel. I'm not going to compromise on this or that. And I'm not going to forego this or that, right? I don't see a reason that we have to do that at this stage in our lives. And and I think it's really important. Life's really short, as you all know. So I think it's very important to speak up about what makes us happy and go after it, whatever it is. Like I said, whether it's just peace and quiet, whether it's that fishing boat, or whether it's that, new dress, or whatever, whether it's that gray carpet instead of the blue carpet, whatever, right? I think it's really important. So, anyway, that was my quick thought. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you have something that you've compromised on always and you're just not going to compromise anymore at this stage in your life? Anything that you feel like you've always given it up, or you've always put it on the back burner and you're just done doing that? Even as our own health, right? We put our own health aside. We put our own physical well-being aside, our own doctor visits aside, or whatever the case is, to take care of everybody else, right? And I just don't think that's a thing anymore at this stage in our lives. I think we have to push real hard to not do that, right? Anyway, that's my quickie thought on what we shouldn't be giving up in relationships at this stage in our lives. Let me know what you guys think. See you in the next one. Bye.